Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I am still Blue Moony, fantasy writer and shy magical library in human skin. And we are back again for more writing / editing / polishing. So we'll see how we go with that. Let me just turn down our lovely opening music. Bye bye opening music. And pop on our pleasant background music. We'll see how this goes. If anyone would prefer rain sounds instead of the music or in addition to the music, let me know and we can play around with the ambience. Because we can. How is everyone? Doing quite well, I hope. Honestly, today has been a bit of a rough day. A bit of a rough day, but all will be well. All will be well. Now, today's writing piece. I think I was a little anxious about choosing this one because, yes, it's a fair bit longer than the other two that we've looked at. But it also has more than one character, amazingly. And so there is actually, not a huge amount of dialogue, but there's definitely dialogue. And I am a fan of dialogue, so it's nice to look at it, I suppose, but it is, a little different to what we've done before. Maybe because there is more dialogue and there's more characters, it's sort of a little less poetic, maybe. I'm guessing the last two were slightly poetic. Oh well. In any case, this piece, I wrote it last year after receiving a prompt from a lovely writer friend of mine. Hello, I'm still Blue Moony. I am indeed. Thank you for the reminder. So this writing prompt was a nice simple one. Just 5 a.m. Woo! Good morning, Latui. It's so lovely to see you. Oh dear, 5 a.m. I'm so sorry. I hope you're already awake for other purposes and I am not getting you out of bed either at or before the crack of dawn. Oh dear. Well anyway, welcome to the writing stream. I hope you enjoy it. Okay. Well, at least you seem alert, I hope. More alert than me, maybe. You might have to give me the occasional poke in the comments if I start to drift off on any unhelpful tangents, because we have to get this done. We're going to get this done, and it is longer than the other ones we've done, so I'm hoping it does not take me a ridiculous amount of time. Okay, yes, it was a writing prompt. A simple one of 5 words. Vibing. As you do. As you do. Yes, a 5-word prompt, and the words that I received from this lovely writer friend of mine were shatter, burn, adore, sanctuary, however you wish to pronounce it, and wires. Would have been more sensible to do it like this, so I have more space to work with. Okay, shatter, burn, adore, sanctuary, wires. So, had to come up with a short piece that includes those 5 words. It's similar to the prompts I used to give myself years and years and years ago when I still wrote a blog. I do not write that blog anymore. I suppose I should think about starting again, but I always ran into the trouble of who actually wants to read what I'm writing on a blog, really? And that sort of held me back, which, probably shouldn't have let it do that, but anyway. But yes, I used to give myself prompts with, 7 nouns, 5 adjectives, 3 verbs, and 1 adverb, and I had to use all of those. This is a lot simpler. Just 5 random words. Nice little prompt. And what I got out of it was something a little odd, which I suppose isn't so unusual. Let's go, Australia. Yeah, I was already awake, because I don't sleep. That's right, I forgot. I forgot you don't sleep. I think you've mentioned that before. Or something along those lines anyway. Well, I am glad you're here in any case. So, yes, we got something a little weird here. Oh, yeah, sorry. Just checking something behind me. I did actually look out the back door before getting started here, and a wallaby was hopping past as I looked, so that's nice. We had a wallaby. Always good to see them hopping around in the backyard and not, smushed on the side of the highway, which happens a lot more than I'd like. Yes, we got something weird out of it. I'm sorry. Yeah, something slightly... I think a stream has a rather long delay compared to normal. Oh, goodness me. Yes, I think you're right. I'm sorry about that. That will make participation a little difficult, but I guess we'll just have to do our best. Funny, Prism didn't give me any alerts that there was anything in particular going wrong. That really is unfortunate. I'm so sorry about that. Yes, we'll just have to do our best. We'll just have to do our best. I will make sure to keep an eye on the comments and try to keep half a mind on what I was doing the few minutes beforehand, so I can jump back and have a look if there are any wonderful suggestions to consider. Okay, so yes, we got a bit of a slightly weird story, some minor steampunk sort of stuff going on, and maybe a little bit of perhaps cultish activity, maybe. Unsure who's good guys and who's bad guys, so that's fun. So let's just start typing it out and I'll show you what I've got. I don't think I've run it through my my ProWritingAid grammar editing software yet, so we'll just have to see what happens and how cranky it'll get with me. Yes, I am so sorry about the delay. I'm not quite sure what's caused that. But yes, we will just work with it. We will work with it as best we can. So the story actually starts out with a tiny bit of dialogue, which is just someone's name. And I think I just chose it very randomly. And the name we get in this story is Ben. So, Ben. I stand below the gazebo step and speak his name. Yes, gazebo. Why don't you like gazebo? Gazebo step. I don't think there's anything wrong with not having the possessive there. It's a gazebo step as opposed to the step belonging to the gazebo or something like that. It'll yell at me again later, but I like it like this. Hi Noe. It's so lovely to see you. Thank you for coming. Yes, we have realized that the delay is unfortunately rather long. Never mind, it was my fault. I didn't notice it rewinded me for some reason. Okay. Good evening. Let's eat dinner, guys. I hope you enjoy your dinner. What are you having? Not pizza like Elfie was having last time and got a bit burnt. Ow. Yes, well, I hope it is delicious in any case. I did have my dinner. There were hot chips involved. Or what is it? You don't use hot chips in some parts of the world, do you? But hopefully it's self-explanatory. Okay. Chicken curry. I hope you guys are eating well. Yes, I had hot chips and I had a kebab, a falafel kebab, and it was very good, especially the garlic cream sauce. It was wonderful. Oh dear. So, I stand below the gazebo step and speak his name. That's all I say. I think it'd be better on its own paragraph, wouldn't it? A bit more dramatic. Oh, chips, fries. They are. Do you call all chips fries? They're all, everything potato that is fried is a fry, despite its thickness or shape or anything. It's all fries. I just feel weird calling thick chips fries. I mean, the thin ones, sure, I can handle that. The Macca's, the McDonald's ones, yeah, little stick is a fry. Indeed, I agree with this. But what do you call the thicker hot chips? Is there a specific name for those, or because yeah, chips is an umbrella term down here, but we all know what French fries are. You all know what French fries are, and they are delicious. Only those are wedge shaped. We just call them wedges. We have wedges too, but we also have thick hot chips. They are different to wedges. Howdy. Hello, Tofu Trash. So lovely to see you. Oh, it's so lovely. Everyone is gathering and we're going to have so much fun ripping apart my writing. Well, we have only just gotten started, so welcome everyone. Okay. How many times am I just going to we'll just keep chatting and then, okay, we shall focus again. We will get this done. That's okay. That's rip and tear. Not sure exactly what you're referring to, so I don't know. They're like French fries, but thicker. Thick fries. And they're hot chips. It's like with the fish and chips in Australia and the UK and wherever else does fish and chips. You don't normally get the fries with that. You get the thick ones. What do you call them? Yeah. Big chips. Big fries. Okay. I stand below the gazebo step and speak his name. That's all I say. Keep it on the same paragraph here. Never been much for confrontation. Confrontation. One eye, please. It still doesn't look right because it's not right. Keyboard, what are you doing to me? Confrontation. I guess. I think I've already run into a slight. Not sure what the best word choice to go with for this character, because it seems a bit more modern, but also the setting seems sort of proper, so I'm guessing. Not sure about guess or I guess or I suppose. I might go with suppose for now and we'll see what happens. Potatoes. All potatoes are good. We do not discriminate against potatoes in this community. All potatoes welcome. Never been much of a confrontation, I suppose. You'll probably start to see my love of M dashes here, won't you? Damn, it had to be me. Can I not italicize here? Oh, yeah, maybe I can't. Can I? No, you disappeared me. Let's just give it another go. Italicize? It will not let me italicize. I will asterisk it so I can fix it up later. Oh dear. Maybe I'm dumb in English, but what's a gazebo? Is it like a jacuzzi? No, a gazebo is just like a structure in a garden, sometimes with a roof, and it's pretty. It sometimes has ivy going up the pillars. I suppose you could also maybe call it a bandstand or something if it's a bigger one. And I think there's a famous D&D thing when someone didn't know what a gazebo was and they thought it was a monster and they kept trying to attack the gazebo, which, yeah. It's just like a pretty garden structure with, you know, a little space to stand and maybe play some music or look at some flowers. Something nice. I do. Sweet potatoes are disgusting. Oh, I like a little sweet potato. My small one doesn't. My small one does not like the sweet potatoes. Gazebo is just like a little roof structure, like a roof with some beams and no walls. That's a much better description than I did. Thank you. Oh, I see now, thanks. Yes, it was, I thought about it as I was, writing my posts, my stream reminder posts. I thought about the D&D player who attacked the gazebo and it kept asking, you know, how much damage has been done. It's like, nothing, it's a gazebo. Oh dear. Never been much for confrontation, I suppose. God damn, it had to be me who stumbled upon... Oh, I haven't mentioned Ben's name for a bit, so I'll pop it here. Ben's trespass. Classic mean. It is, but yes, classic for a reason. It is a good one. Welcome, Grave Haunter. It is lovely to see you. Please sit with us and dissect my writing as I present it to you. Oh, damn, it had to be me who stumbled upon Ben's trespass. A dim lamp strapped to his head. What? He crouches. Yes, for some reason, I don't know why, but when I do my short pieces, I tend to go first person present tense, which is not how I write my novels. I usually go past tense, close third. That's how I normally write, but for whatever reason, short writing, this happens. So if I slip out of present tense, be sure to shout at me. I think this past tense is okay because, you know, they've already stumbled on it, so that's okay. Good morning. Rip and tear, now we write and critique. That is far more civilized. Thank you. Oh dear. I will do my best to restrain myself to such civilized writing and critiquing behavior as opposed to the savage ripping and tearing. Okay, a dim lamp strapped to his head. He crouches over the Elder's contraption. So, the Elders, I'm guessing, well, I suppose when I wrote this, are some kind of godlike beings. Well, you know, some sort of either godlike or immortal, or at the very least, highly mysterious, probably fae-like being. They're not human. They are something beyond human, the Elders. A dim lamp strapped to his head, he crouches over the Elder's contraption. Also, if anyone thinks of a better term for these beings besides Elders, make suggestions if you wish. I'm guessing that's just what occurred to me at the time, but what the actual term is, I don't think has any true bearing on the story itself, so it could be anything. So if you have cool ideas, please share. I would love to hear them. Okay, a dim lamp strapped to his head, he crouches over the Elder's contraption, all brass and gears and pressure gauges. So yes, steampunk gods. Steampunk gods. Let's keep going. The frantic clicks and pops of Ben's tinkering through the cool, clear night. Keep discordant time with our misted breaths. Is shallow and agitated Look, I get to use a semicolon. Watch me go. Mine, quick, and afraid. So very afraid. My lips tremble, calling for help. Is this an eldritch horror? I believe it would have the potential to be if the story sort of kept going, but you know, there's only so much that can happen in a little flashy fiction. We don't see anything bestial or monstrous. Hope I'm not spoiling anything too much. This is more to do with the confrontation between these two. Maturing is when you go from run-on sentences to using semicolons. I know, I'm a fan of semicolons, but we don't actually see them a huge amount in fiction writing, do we? Or at least not in the fiction that I read. Maybe it's because I read a lot of young adult stuff, but I don't see why people would try to prevent the use of semicolons in young adult fiction. I think it would be wonderful for young adults to see proper use of semicolons in fiction. Oh dear. Assuming I did use it correctly. I think I did. But feel free to call me out. Oh, my lips tremble on calling for help. Something pointy and cruel digs into the pit of my stomach, telling me that would be the worst idea I've ever had. And I've had some pretty god-awful ideas. Sorry, my screen did something weird. Wound up here, didn't I? So yes, we don't actually go into much detail about what this place is like. I guess we're just supposed to get vague ideas from what Ben is doing and what their conversation is. But yes, to wind up in this place with these elders, either it was a stupid idea to come there, or you'd done a bunch of stupid stuff and that's why you have come to that place. I don't think I want this person to be hugely clear exactly why they're there. Oh, where are we? Here we are. No. No. It's Ben and me. God help us. So, given I'm using God a fair amount, I'm guessing the elders maybe aren't, almighty supreme God sort of thing, but in the middle. Either demigod-like or just some kind of strange otherworldly being with an unknown agenda, or a known agenda that these people know but we do not. Something along those lines. Okay, I say his name again. I know it's probably not necessary to do things like that, but I like it. Given, I do it here about speaking his name and doing it here, and I think I do it again before the end, so it's just a sort of a particular thing working through this. Okay, I say his name again. More dialogue, Ben. Please. The extra word barely croaks out of me. Don't move. Which of these words have I used yet? Haven't used any of them yet, have I? Don't worry, they're coming up. Let's see if I actually notice when I do use them. Don't move. My entire body jolts as Ben spins to face me. Half tangled, copper coils, silhouetted. I love the word silhouetted. Apparently the writing software doesn't. What have I done? I haven't finished writing the sentence yet. Give me a chance. Half tangled in copper coils and silhouetted in my quivering pool of lantern light. He clenches. You do not like lantern light as one word. There we go. clenches one jittery hand over his head. Bundle of wires. There we go. We have wires. A bundle of wires snakes from his fist into the unknown innards of the contraption. Horror spills up my spine. I like spilling up. Oh no. So clearly, this is nothing good. Nothing good is coming of this, Ben. Why? Why are you doing this? And I think we're about to ask that. Or what will this achieve? I have I try here instead of I say. And I like how I try sounds, but I know the software is going to yell at me for using something besides say or ask, so I'll just do it and I will wear the berating. Eyes anxious. Hummingbird flicker. Up and down the wires that connect Ben to the elder's contraption. What do you possibly hope to? We are being cut off. Ben's ultimate glare. Oh, why did I have more visceral reaction to spills up than the description of Ben? I don't know. I mean, we never know how different turns of phrase are going to affect us. But yes, the spilling up, I think because it's discordant, because things are meant to spill down, not up. So if there's something spilling up, there's something not quite right. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe. Yeah, that's probably why I like it too. I'm pretty sure I've used spilling up the spine once or twice in my main magical project. Hopefully not too many times. There's yes, I was reading a book a couple of months ago and I very much enjoyed the book, but there were a few particular turns of phrases that the author used really frequently. And yes, it's a great turn of phrase, it's wonderful, but using it every few pages, it's a bit too much. Just a bit too much. Maybe 3 or 4 times in the whole book I would have forgiven, but it just popped up so often. Oh dear, Ben's molten glare tightens around my throat, stealing my speech. The very idea of language. Oh dear, I am getting a bit flowery and possibly weirdly poetic. But that's okay. The very idea of language spooling away in meaning as I, there, predictably, freeze. Yes, this protagonist is different again to both the previous ones, aren't they? First protagonist with the dragons and the trucks is a bit rougher, and probably actually the nicest of all our protagonists so far. And Mr. Bingo Explorer with the birds. You know, I don't think they were a terrible person, but they were very pretty high and mighty, weren't they? This person today is just highly, highly anxious and timid. And I suppose it doesn't help that they've found Ben messing around with this contraption that we don't know what's going to happen, but apparently the protagonist does. So, okay. Well, did I do 2 spaces? There we go. Why did I do 2 spaces there? That's just silly. Ben's molten glare tightens around my throat, stealing my speech, the very idea of language spooling away in meaning as I predictably freeze. if you keep going flowery, audience will see subtext between protag and Ben, which I'm all for. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I guess it's just, I suppose in my novel writing, it's not that I'm not flowery now and then, I just try to keep things as, it's difficult to, I suppose my writing style is a bit scrappy, sort of, with my novel writing that I'm doing right now. And my main character, you know, his head isn't very poetic. So not too much happens in prettiness when he's the protagonist. But I do like it when something happens now and then. Because then you're just like, oh wow, so he does think like this every now and then. Oh dear. Let's see how we go as I predictably freeze. You shatter at my feet. I generally lose the fight. Missed one, sorry. I always fight the urge to randomly use fancy and flowery words, and I generally lose the fight. I think in many cases it's a good thing to lose the fight, so long as we can contain ourselves just a little bit. Because, you know, some flowery stuff is beautiful. I guess I just try to go as far away from it as possible, because my writing from a fair time ago now, when I first started, you know, actually going for getting novels done, it's, you know, way too flowery. It's like, all of these words, what are they adding to the story? It's just la 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 la, skipping off into the distance. Why? Why is this even happening? But no, if it serves purpose, also if it's just a bit pretty and it doesn't happen too often, it's fine. Oh dear. What actually gets on my nerves a bit more than flowery language now is stories that happen almost entirely in one character's head, and it's just all them thinking and nothing real actually happens in the story, except it suddenly happens and then we're back in their head again. It's just, I'm sure when it's done well it can be very interesting. I'm guessing the ones I've read of late just have not quite hit the mark, in my very humble opinion. Yes, I will. I'm unlikely to ever review books as such. It just doesn't feel right when I want to be a writer as well. I worry it would feel like I was trying to drag other authors down. So I may complain about some writing that I have read, but I will probably not name names or titles. Oh, a shatter at my feet. Dimly, I realize my lantern has escaped my grip. Oh dear. My feet, my lantern, my grip. I know it's not grammatically incorrect, but it bothers me, so I'll have a look at it later. My grip flames snuffed on impact with the step. Do we remember the step is the gazebo step? I may have to look back on that later. Now that I think about it, I use flowery language the most when I want either the reader or character to be a bit more removed from reality. It has that floaty feel. I think you're right there. I think you're right. Just, yes, it does give a little bit of distance, doesn't it? That's something to keep in mind, I think. Lovely perspective. Thank you for that. A shudder at my feet. Dimly, I realize my lantern has escaped my grip. Flame snuffed on impact with the step. Glass crunches. No, I missed a line. That doesn't make sense. My boots, here we go. Perform a nervous shuffle. Glass crunches beneath. Now the only... Why don't you like the full stop? Okay, now you like the full stop. Fair enough. Make up your mind. Now the only light in the garden, besides the quiet glitter of stars lamp. Its beam points straight at me. There. My blinking eyes prickle with bewildered spots. Oh my god, you keep blocking your mind in the midst of writing. That's an awareness I've yet to achieve. Oh dear, I probably couldn't do it if I hadn't already written the thing. This is, you know, I'm not writing this as we go. I wrote this last year and I'm typing it out to show you, and then we will do our best to make it better. Oh dear. Although I'm not minding it so far. I mean, there's only a few sort of, you know, general sense things like here, just wondering if we're too far removed from the gazebo step earlier, that we need a reminder. Might just put the gazebo step again then. Bewildered spots. Bewildered spots. Here we go. Also, this you here, I don't think it's clear who's speaking, is it? We'll have to look at that and maybe shift some stuff around to make it work. Here we go. The worst of the lot. Then it'll yell at me if I use too many dialogue tags that aren't either say or ask. But you know, in such a short piece of writing, you've got to convey a lot in a short time. So let's just stick with it. We will stick with it. And pants. Become glare and shadow. I'm not sure how clear that is, but we'll look at it again. You adore, don't you? Okay, so that's adore. That's another one of the words. And we also used shatter. So I think it's just burn and sanctuary we're waiting for now. Rebel against the software, find its code, and sorry, the love heart covers part of the comment and I can't see it. Find its code and shank it. Thank you for that. The ProWritingAid overlords cannot stop us from doing whatever we want. Indeed. Indeed. But I still don't like it when it yells at me. And given I cannot afford professional editors, I'm going to be leaning very heavily on ProWritingAid with my novel writing. So I probably should not go so far as to shank it. We can come close maybe, but no full-on shanking should probably occur. Yell back. I will probably do a fair amount of, you know, yelling equivalent, or as loudly as I can yell when the small one is asleep in the next room. Oh dear, you're the worst of the lot, Ben Pence. Become a glare and a shadow. You adore them, don't you? Adore who, I say? Squinting. Cogs barely creaking in my stressed head. See, aren't I clever? Cogs in head, cogs in contraption. Yay. I'm doing my best. The elders. Of course, the elders. Ooh, one of my favorite words. Sycophant. Sorry, that's just a great word to just spit out at someone, isn't it? Sycophant. Sneering. He spits on pristine lawn by this is a bit gross, sorry. Adding his own fluids to the galaxy of dew clinging to the blades. Goodness me, this guy is very detached, isn't he? With all this floatiness going on. I suppose he is reasonably terrified. We can't blame him for being a bit floaty. Oh dear. Sneering, he spits on the pristine lawn at my feet, adding his own fluids to the galaxy of dew clinging to the blades. You call this a sanctuary? There we go, we got sanctuary. Sanctuary. I think sanctuary feels more natural to me. Place of healing. Ben's laugh is terrible. Pure oral poison. How are we doing? Okay, so we're finding out a bit more about this place, but still not in too much detail. Okay, found us to them. More M dashes, I like them. Don't you see? You think they'll just let us leave here? Do you think he'd say us here, or he's trying to, Ben's trying to make more emphasis on the protagonist, to try to make the protagonist see? So maybe change it. Do you think they'll just let you leave here? But he's probably past. Ben's probably past trying to feel any sort of collective thing, given what he's doing. So probably keep it separate. I don't think he'd be thinking in us and we at this point. It's him and everyone else. I think they'll just let you leave here. Where are we? Here we are. Stop. No, just the stop sound. Too certain. Let's stick a stammer in there. We already know they're a stammerer, but I don't know. I think normally when you try to write someone who stammers, you try to stick to the same letter, but I suppose it's not a stammer for a not a customary stammer. They're stammering because they're scared and anxious. So I suppose it's not such a problem what they're stammering over. Please, I just hit the wrong button. Then you can still stop this. I'm ending this. And the ending should indeed be italicized. Italicize the ending, please. I'm ending this. I have so many dialogue tags that are not say or ask. He growls, turning his back. He again hunkers before the contraption. I know I say contraption so many times. Maybe I should choose an alternative or two, but I suppose using contraption over and over makes it sound almost like a proper noun. So it could work. Hunkers before the contraption. Yeah, no comma, please. Like a worshipper at an altar. His threat still held overhead. Oh, I put put a story of mine into ProWritingAid and it yelled at me 10,000 times because I really like double spacing after periods for some reason. Yeah, I used to do that. I used to always do the double space after periods. I'm not sure when or why I stopped or when or why I began, but I think I stopped before I started using the software, so I haven't had it cranky with me over that particular issue before. Just realised I like your use of hummingbird flicker earlier for ProTag in contrast to the mechanical descriptions of Ben. Well, thank you. I hadn't realised that. Let's just go up and there's my hummingbird flicker. The gaze. Now just hummingbird flicker up and down the wires. So that is a nice contrast, isn't it? It is nice, thank you. Sorry, head drifting now. I should not drift, I should keep writing. This is how you lose the time vibes. No floating, no floating. Sorry, I am tired. I need to wake up. Water to wake up. Cannot throw it on me because there is too much electricity around. Waking up. Only long enough to do the story, then I must fall asleep immediately. I wish I could do that. That's, you know, if someone offered me in trade the ability to fall asleep in a minute, I would seriously consider trading something of value. I don't know what. I do not know what, but I would definitely seriously see what they wanted and whether I'd be willing to give it up. So it's still held overhead. Sorry, because it's longer, it takes me longer to find my place. You stay the hell away from me. Get out while you still can. Sorry, that's not how I'd say it at all. I'll read it properly at the end once we've gone through it and fixed things up. Though again, I don't think it's too bad, is it? I mean, ProWritingAid will have other ideas, but I prefer to go through it, just us first, and see what we can catch, but I don't think it's too bad. I'm sorry if this is too much. When you said something of value, my mind remembered the child to my cough. No. That honestly didn't even cross my mind. No, I mean something of value, like equivalent of the ability to fall asleep in a minute, like maybe, you know, the ability to whistle or something. I'd give up my ability to whistle if I could fall asleep in a minute. I'm pretty good at whistling. Wait, that demands a demonstration, doesn't it? Sorry, I just need to think of a tune that is viable. Let's just make something up. I whistled in and out. Give up the child ride. No! That is not happening. Did not cross my mind. Was not the path I was going down. Why are you guys going down this path? I do not think a child is worth being able to fall asleep in a minute. We need some sort of equivalency here. How did you do that rhythm with the whistling, Dang? In and out. Fine, half a child. No. No. Let's continue. Well, maybe you guys should try to think of something that's equivalent, roughly, to the ability to fall asleep in 1 minute that I could consider trading should the opportunity arise. Oh, me and Toby went in different directions. 4 children. Doesn't have to be yours. Oh dear. No, I'm not trading anyone else's child because it would not have the same value. I mean, that sounded really bad. Have the same value to me. All children have the same value in the worldwide sort of perspective. But for me in particular, it just wouldn't have the same impact. Oh dear. All I could think of was whistling. There's got to be a bunch of other random little things. Random little things. Clicking, some people can't click. Something I can do. I don't know, my weird memory of random television commercials from the 90s. I don't know. I have a character who speaks rather archaically, and ProWritingAid is pissed. The app is helpful, but it does not like me. Yeah, I think it's everything with a grain of salt. And I think ProWritingAid does sort of say that on one of its pages. You know, like, if you don't like what we say, it's your right and you feel free to ignore us. Blue goes viral for saying some children are worth less than others. No! Do not be mean to me. That is not what I said, and you know it is not what I said. Or at least if it was what I said, I picked up on it quickly and corrected it. Oh dear. Dear. I suppose this is another reason why I took so long to actually start streaming, is just the general terror of so many things that can be taken out of context. It's difficult, I guess. Oh dear. You stay the hell away from me. Get out while you still can. Doop-be-doop-be-doop-boo-doop-doo. Here we are. Panic froths and bubbles up through my digestive tract. Tract? Oh, I've always wanted to learn Shakespeare's early modern English just for the memes, so I can bust it out in real life to be dramatic after minor inconvenience occurs. Hashtag cancel blue. It's a little early for that, isn't it? I've only been around for a few months. Give me a bit more time to get myself in trouble. Or, you know, don't. Blue does not want to get herself in trouble. Blue does not think she would be able to handle it. Oh dear. Panic froths and bubbles up through my digestive tract. I stand by as good as vacant. My body stiff and lips sealed shut. Stop. Who's planning on getting cancelled? It's on the agenda. It's not on the agenda. I plan nothing. Which is why my streams are always so organized. Oh dear. Well, I suppose it's difficult to really try to be any kind of creative now without that threat hanging over you. I imagine it does keep a lot of people away, and it did keep me away for a long time. Oh dear. But I will do my best. I will do my best to keep going, even if I have invariably already cancelled myself. Oh dear. Stop. Okay, next we have Thinky Thoughts. Oh, I've been using capitals, haven't I? For God's sake. In italics, Thinky Thoughts. Sorry, excuse me a sec. Doopy-doo. There we go. God's sake. Oh, too far. We're already approaching the end here. I grind my teeth so... Teeth. So hard, my jaw moans. Screw organization. I've said to my friends before that I don't have a mind palace. I have a mind pile that I must rummage through like trash pan to even a scrap of coherent thought. We will be cancelled on July 2nd. Put it on your schedule. July 2nd. An interesting date. The only thing I know about July 2nd is that I believe that is Adam Parrish's birthday. Adam Parrish from Maggie Stapevater's series The Raven Boys, being one of my favourite book series of all time. Yes, and Adam is my favourite character. And so 2nd of July kind of holds a little significance for me. Oh dear. I wonder if it'll be something Adam Parrish related that will let it happen. Oh dear. Oh. Goodness me, you're not taking shots when I say oh dear, are you? I believe that was suggested last time. That is such a random fun fact. Yes, no shots when I say oh dear, because I need to work it out of my vocabulary a little bit before you start trying that, because I do not want to be responsible for any hospitalizations in the chat, please. I looked up Adam Parrish and Wiki lists his hair as dusty. It is! That's how it's described in the book. He is a precious flower. Occasionally not a great human being, but in general a precious flower. And he does his best, and he's in a terrible situation. And he does his best. He's a good character. He's very good. Very contradictory, very infuriating at points. I'm 17 shots down. I just said it twice then. I unfortunately do not have alcohol with me right now, but I would have. Please no. Please no. Please no. I used to be good at drinking, believe it or not. I don't think I ever actually enjoyed it very much, but I could do it really well. And the few times I went out, I did, just because, it sort of felt like the thing to do. But I don't really drink anymore because I'd get zero enjoyment out of it. I grind my teeth so hard, my jaw moans. Ooh, another M dash. Forget this. I suppose this character... the worst sort of cursing they've done is the use of a bit of blaspheming here and there, isn't it? So I think having forget this instead of F this works a little better for this character. It's shots of water. Thank goodness. Forget this. If the entire guard 3 gardens are going to burn, it won't be because I can't hold my... Oh, here we go. I suppose it does make sense here. Fucking nerve when it counts. So, we're getting cross now. Well, it looks like what is actually vodka. No! No. No. Please heed Blue's nose. Heed Blue's nose. Heed Blue's, inverted commas, N-O's, as opposed to heed Blue's N-O-S-E. Although that could also be a thing at one point somehow if Blue's nose is anything like consult the helix fossil. Heed Blue's nose. I don't know. Where is my head going? I grind my teeth so hard my jaw moans. Forget this. If the entire garden's going to burn, it won't be because I can't hold my fucking nerve when it counts. Gathering resolve around me like an armored cloak. I step forward. Stop, my brain hurts. I'm sorry. Oh dear, if your brain hurts, imagine what mine feels like. I live here. Oh dear. Gathering resolve around me like an armored cloak, I step forward. Ben doesn't notice, too hell-bent on sabotage and too convinced I wouldn't dare. I guess Mr. Protagonist or Ms. Protagonist, whoever they are, friend protagonist. Or not friend, depending on who's actually the good guy and the bad guy. Protagonist has a bit of a reputation for being, what is it, a doormat? Someone to walk all over. Oh, you hit that fucking with your full chest. Well, if you're going to read it out and say it in the proper context, you've got to hit it. You've got to get it done. You've got to say it with passion. Too convinced I wouldn't dare. Another step. Then, and this is saying his name again, although I don't describe it, I just do it. No. This is the worst idea I have ever had. You see, we're referring back to it. You said earlier, I was pretty sure calling for help right now would be the worst idea they'd ever had. No, this is the worst idea they've ever had. I think this is the first time I've heard Blue say anything cursy. Yes, I do my best to keep things as clean as possible because that's just my general preference. I get a little bit sweary on my own time just hanging out with the people I am very, very closest with, and that's... I never used to. It's sort of grown over time, but even then, generally I try to keep as cuss-free as possible. But that is me, that is not my writing. My writing can... Yes, it's... Wait until my novel comes out. It's not quite every second word, but it's pretty close when my Kaz is the protagonist. No, this is the worst idea I've ever had. Somehow I don't care. I've never felt more certain and more M-dashes. Holy hell. Confidence is crack. Oh dear, there's not too much sort of dissonance with the language in this story, is it? Is there? I don't think it's displeasing, just I wonder if some people might find it a little jarring. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, give me more. More confidence. More confidence crack. I seize Ben's wrist, feeling the hectic tick of his pulse and whir of machinery through his papery skin. Type the word, please. Fine, I will do it again. I said stop. And that's the end. I had to act like a bad roommate for meditation training, and I kept cussing despite the newbie putting in a no cussing rule. Most of it was by legit accident. I cussed too much. That's the end, folks. Indeed, but now it's time for us to go back through on our own first and see how things work. So I didn't actually run into anything I had huge creative difficulties with like we did last time with the Firebird story, because that's those sort of few paragraphs that really tripped me up. But I'm not sure that's going to happen this time, which is good because this is much longer than the birds one. I think it's about double the length. Okay. So all of these words did pop up. We had a shatter. Let's find our shatter. That was the lamp going, wasn't it? A shatter at my feet. Yeah, maybe some of the phrasing around here could be a bit better. Burn was... If the whole garden's gonna burn, it's not gonna be because of me. We had a door, you adore them, the elders. Sanctuary was, you call this a sanctuary. And wires, we know where the wires are. Cussing is fine, just be a little bit more formal when you need and you're fine. I don't know, it'll come out probably more when I'm playing games, given... You may have noticed I react a little bit during games because I get startled. I have a very very heightened startle reflex. It's very, very easy to make me jump and all of that. So if I ever play any game sort of rougher than Unpacking or Banished, it's going to be, horror stream time. I'm not good with horror. I'm really bad with horror, so yeah, I'll have to do some eventually for your entertainment, but please keep in mind I will be suffering the whole time. I haven't seen the game stream yet because those streams happen when I'm usually asleep. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do about timing. How to put it. I guess there is no good time for everyone, and this is still the best time for me, sadly. The VODs are there if you're ever interested, but it is all good if you prefer to if you prefer to come to the live streams. So we found all the words. Okay, let's go through line by line, paragraph by paragraph. I don't know if I have the patience for word by word this time. It's a bit long for that. But let's see if we can make some amendments to make this sound a bit better. And then we'll see what ProWritingAid thinks. Oh dear, I'm using this as motivation to fix my sleep schedule. The VODs don't let me annoy the streamer. You are quite correct on that one. You're quite correct. I understand the allure of annoying the streamer. I hope this does help you fix your sleep schedule, by the way. I hope so. I wish I had a sleep schedule. That'd be nice. Okay. So do we think we're all right starting with the dialogue here? Just starting by saying his name, or do we not need the ellipsis here? I suppose the ellipsis does make them sound a lot more uncertain, so I might keep it there for now. You stop existing when you're not streaming. Please don't like existing. Don't say that. My mind is weird things, if you haven't noticed. Even if I don't believe it, my mind will just be like, oh, maybe, and I'll panic. Oh dear, I cannot stream every day. It would be fun sometimes, but not possible at the moment. So long as you're happy to exist just 3 days a week, I suppose it's not too bad. Or actually just the voices in your head. Well, I'm not going to say it felt inevitable, but... Oh dear. No, that is a thing Blue should not joke about. Blue will not make these jokes. Spending too much time in the library is driving you to go outside. No, in the library. I am the library. I cannot leave the library. It is my whole existence. The library can go outside, but it still remains the library. Oh dear. What is my law? Okay, Ben, I think it's okay starting like this. I stand below the gazebo step and speak his name. I know you don't like it being gazebo step and want it to be gazebo's step, but it looks weird like gazebo's step, doesn't it? Particularly because gazebo's step and it just sort of bleeds into each other because of the two S's there. I don't like it. It's a gazebo step. It is a gazebo step is a whole sort of phrase as opposed to the step belonging to the gazebo. Even if it is the step belonging to the gazebo, that's not how I want to phrase it. Are we all cool with this? Okay. I stand below the gazebo step and speak his name. That's all I say. Never been much for confrontation, I suppose. We sure about this goddamn, or do you reckon something else might work for this protagonist better? Ooh. Go into the library reception. Someone with a lisp. I love removing apostrophe S's. Yes. We'll get rid of them all. We'll remove them all as much as possible. Sorry, I was covering my mouth and my face did funny stuff. That's all I say. Never been much of a confrontation, I suppose. Do you think it's alright starting it with never instead of I never? It sounds... This is quite casual. I don't know if this person is quite proper exactly, but being sort of quite anxious and clearly with some kind of unpleasant past. I'm just wondering if they'd be slightly more formal than this. But then it just feels like there's too many eyes. And then again, I suppose that's a little inevitable when it's first person. I'm not sure. I think an anti-casual more fitting, at least in their head. Okay, so we'll stick with this for now. I think I prefer how that sounds. I was just concerned maybe it didn't suit the protagonist. It's a lot to try to sort of convey the protagonist's personality when you're going first person and in such a short piece. So I suppose we've just got to find as many ways as possible for us to learn what kind of person the protagonist is. I suppose particularly for stories like this where we don't know exactly what's going to happen with the stories. It seems almost the story is a little bit like, just context for these brief glimpses of personalities. Or something like that. Blue should not think so hard. I don't think it's doing her any favors at all. Okay. Ben. I stand below the gazebo step and speak his name. That's all I say. Maybe because we have say here, it's more of an impact if we use say both times. I kind of like how speak sounds, but maybe that's a little too much. Like the cow tools drawing. What are cow tools? Cow tools? Cow tools. I know no cows. What cows do you know? That's all I say. Never been much of confrontation, I suppose. That's what I was wondering about, whether the goddamn sounds all right here. And I suppose we're in their head. We're in their head. It should work. It should work being in their head. That's all I say. Never been much for confrontation, I suppose. Goddamn, it had to be me who stumbled upon Ben's trespass. I like how this sounds, and I hope it works. If anyone thinks it's a little odd, please let me know and I will rethink it, but it had to be me who stumbled upon Ben's trespass. I think it sounds good. Oh, cow tools. It was a drawing of a cow standing in front of a table with strange-looking tools. A bunch of people kept asking what the tools were for, why the cows are making tools, what happened to humans, etc. Okay. That is not one I am familiar with. Cows with tools. Oh dear. Sorry. It's just reminding me of the did anyone watch the cow and chicken cartoons with the cow and chicken siblings and the parents who were just legs? And yeah, it was really twisted. Original intent was cows would be bad at making tools. That's it. It's used it as an example to show that if someone just puts scraps of a world in front of an audience, the audience will fill in the rest. Fair enough. Fair enough. That is... It is... Though I suppose, yes. Cows. Hooves. Difficult to craft anything. Which maybe is why we don't see many aliens with hooves in the science fiction world. Although my aliens do have... They have evolved with massive claws and they can craft things with their claws. I grew up only on the finest of cartoons, Simpsons and Family Guy. Cow and Chicken just unlock some childhood horrors. Yes, I think of some of that stuff and just... Ugh. I can, in fact, do a reasonably impressive cow impersonation. I'm not sure whether I should, because it may wake the small one. Oh dear. Can't even remember anything exactly what to say. Courage the Cowardly Dog, anyone? I couldn't do Courage. Courage was too much. Oh, goodness me. No, I could not do Courage. Okay. Damn, it had to be me who stumbled upon Ben's trespass. A dim lamp strapped to his head. Would forehead work better? A dim lamp strapped to his forehead. I think that sort of at least gives the lamp more direction. A dim lamp strapped to his forehead, he crouches over the elder's contraption, all brass and gears and pressure gauges. The frantic clicks and pops of Ben's tinkering through the cool, clear night keep discordant time with our misted breaths, his shallow and agitated, mind quick and afraid. I think that's okay. I mean, I was a little concerned about this goddamn, but I think it works all right. And I quite like how this sounds, even if, I think I was just worried that it just sounds slightly clunky just because the word trespass isn't hugely commonly used anymore, but I think in this situation, after we find out more about, the elders and what this place is supposed to be and everything, maybe it should work. And I think I'm all right with this. If anyone runs into anything that you think is an issue, please yell at me and I will go back and have another look. My lips tremble on calling for help. Something pointy and cruel digs into the pit of my stomach, telling me that would be the worst idea I've ever had. Do you think we need pointy and cruel? I mean, I like, having things in pairs for emphasis, but maybe just something cruel digs into the pit of my stomach, telling me that would be the worst idea. I still like pointy and cruel. I'll stick with pointy and cruel. Something pointy and cruel digs into the pit of my stomach, telling me that would be the worst idea I've ever had. It's clear that there is calling for help. My lips tremble on calling for help. Something pointy and cruel digs into the pit of my stomach, telling me that would be the worst idea I've ever had. And I've had some pretty god-awful ideas. I wound up here, didn't I? I know it's not very clear here, and it sounds a little like winding up here was a god-awful idea, but I think we get the idea later on that, it was stuff we did previously to winding up here that counts as the god-awful ideas. Puts a short story in it for ProWritingAid, 43 possible rephrases. Yes, it has opinions. It certainly has opinions. But remember, you do not have to listen to them. It's only if it's helpful. And unfortunately, yes, I do like to please the ProWritingAid gods, but that's just me. I'm sadly a people pleaser, which is probably why I don't actually hang out with many people, so I can avoid showing that part of my personality. Oh dear. And I've had some pretty god-awful ideas. I wound up here, didn't I? No. It's Ben and me, or it's just Ben and me. I think the original It's Ben and Me is a bit more oomph. Oh dear. It's got to be damned, I just want to get rid of the funny lines. Ben and me, God help us. I say his name again. Ben, please. The extra word barely croaks out of me. Don't move. I think it's pretty clear we've swapped to Ben here. Hi, I'm back, everyone. Hi, Noe. Hi, Noe. Sorry, I remembered. Hi, Noe. I'm glad you're back. We have written out the story and we're now working our way through trying to find things that need adjustment. In general, I'm pretty happy with it so far, but if anything pops up that you notice is unclear or you think it can just be phrased more eloquently, please let me know. I would very much like to hear your suggestions. Okay. Ben, please. The extra word barely croaks out of me. Don't move. My entire body jolts as Ben spins to face me, half tangled in copper coils and silhouetted in my quivering pool of lantern light. He clenches one jittery hand over his head. A bundle of wires snakes from his fist into the unknown innards of the contraption. Again, I think that's okay. It's not really... Nothing is sort of jumping out as needing a huge amount of attention. This is really rare. Normally I'm wanting to change every single thing. Ooh. Glad the story is doing great. I hope it's doing great. I hope it's just not, because I haven't actually looked at this for a while, but you'd hope if I had looked at it for a while, the stuff that needs work would jump out far more ferociously. So, with any luck, it's not too bad. I say, before we turn to ProWritingAid for opinions. Here we are. Oh, and here's our line. Horror spills up my spine. I do like that line. Oh no. Oh, what will this achieve? I try, my eyes an anxious hummingbird flicker up and down the wires that connect Ben to the Elder's contraption. What do you possibly hope to... Must be an M dash or a hyphen when they're getting cut off. The M dash looks better. Ben's molten glare tightens around my throat, stealing my speech, the very idea of language spooling away in meaning as I predictably freeze. The very idea of language spooling away in meaning, or the very idea of language just spooling away? Do you think we need the in meaning here? Oh, I just jolted in my seat. I hate that phrase in a good way. Well, I suppose writers always like to know that their lines affect people, but yeah, so long as it's not too unpleasant. Oh, I do not wish to cause any unnecessary unpleasantness. At least I don't think I do. Do I? Mostly not. It's difficult. It's difficult, You don't want to cause people problems, but you also want your writing to affect people. It's a difficult line to tread, perhaps. Let's just have a look at this without the in meaning. Ben's molten glare tightens around my throat, stealing my speech, the very idea of language spooling away as I predictably freeze. Lose foray into visual horror. Yeah, well, it's... Keeping in mind, in my main magical project, there's an awful lot of monster fights and therefore a few monstrous descriptions. And, I'm hoping my monsters aren't too basic, but... Yeah, maybe I need to do a bit more eldritch research to flesh things out a bit, perhaps. The last monster in book 1, if it's visceral you like, you're gonna enjoy that one. Oh dear. I should not say anything more on that. Ben's molten glare tightens around my throat, stealing my speech, the very idea of language spooling away in meaning as I predictably freeze. I think I like having the in meaning there. It's just... It feels right. Okay, I think we were running into a little bit of trouble here. Because I don't think it's clear here that this is Ben. And this is sort of Ben leading into the you're the worst of the lot. This probably isn't enough. It's not like Ben's nervous exactly, but he is sort of hectic, frantic. So I think he needs to say something a bit more here. Maybe just the just trying to get them to just be quiet, stop talking. So be saying to, okay, so we're trying to talk some sense into Ben here. What will this achieve? What do you possibly hope to? Do we even need him to say anything here? I think we do. I think we need him to say something, but what's he going to say before you're the worst of the lot and after us trying to talk sense into him? I don't know. Okay, so let's just leave that to think about for a minute. And I think a shatter at my feet doesn't sound quite right. Maybe something shatters at my feet. I don't know. A shatter at my feet. Dimly, I realize my lantern has escaped my grip. Its flames snuffed on impact with a gazebo step. Maybe we should make another little steampunky sort of reference and say it's an oil lamp of some variety. Oily flames? I don't know. It's oily flames snuffed on impact with a gazebo step. A shatter at my feet. Does that sound a bit too abrupt? I suppose we'll get a better idea of how this should sound after we figure out what Ben should say here. Maybe what he says should be split up between here and here. We can have him sort of doing the... No, I don't want him to say something like, shut up. But something along those lines in a slightly more eloquent manner, perhaps. What will this achieve? I try, my eyes an anxious hummingbird flicker up and down the wires that connect Ben to the elder's contraption. What do you possibly hope to? How will Ben cut us off? He's already done the shout of don't move, but that's all he's said so far. Maybe something more along the lines of, do you remember in, I'm not sure what the phrasing was in the book because it's been a really long time since I've read it, but in the Lord of the Rings films, in the Two Towers with Grima Wormtongue, what was it? Gandalf says, be silent, keep your forked tongue behind your teeth. I think something along those lines could work here, maybe. Could maybe work here. Except I did use, and I was wondering about using sort of your poisoned words or something, but we've got this down here, Ben's laugh is terrible, pure oral poison, which I really quite like, so I think maybe not poison. Maybe some sort of another reference to being a sycophant. Or the elder's dog or something. Sorry, I'm just gonna duck away just for a minute. I will be right back. I'm so sorry. Where's my be right back screen? Here it is. Just hold on a moment. I'm so sorry. Won't be long. I do understand you wanting to party without Blue. I do. But... oh dear. I will pretend I don't see the activities that took place in the chat during my brief absence. I thought the chat was not quite as silly as this. Hi Blue, welcome back. We were quietly reading. I will choose to believe this. For sure. Indeed. I will believe it. Watch me 100% believing the chat. Sadly, I have not thought of how to fix this. Oh dear. What will this achieve? I try, my eyes an anxious hummingbird flicker up and down the wires that connect Ben to the elder's contraption. What do you possibly hope to... I think he's got to say something here. Something to make us be quiet. But I don't see Ben as being particularly cussy. I don't. Chat. Any thoughts? How is Ben going to shut us up here? What's something he could say? My head is just not. So, down here we've got him saying you're the worst of the lot, but it sounds like there's got to be something leading up to this. So possibly here. There you go. Ben shuts us up. in some way. Whoa. What do you say as you choke someone? I'm not sure, I've never tried it. But yes, the molten glare tightening around the throat. I mean, I think I had originally had it that just the glare sort of is enough to shut us up. But I still feel something has to be said before you're the worst of the lot. So, shall we keep it as the glare? The glare is enough to shut us up. I suppose we've got that. But we still need him to say something leading up to you're the worst of the lot. I think I did originally have the U ellipses to indicate, you know, he was leading up to saying you're the worst of the lot, but I don't think he would have any trouble saying what he really wants to say right now. So, yeah, I think it's just, it doesn't, going from you ellipses to a shadow at my feet, it's just, there's nothing there. It needs more, it needs to do more than it is currently doing. Maybe even just something like, I'm not sure, sorry, answering without reading it. Do we know what Ben means by the lot? I'm guessing, well, not guessing, he means everyone else in this sanctuary, whatever it is, that the elders sort of preside over. Yes, I think it's meant to give a sort of impression that, yes, this is a sanctuary, this is a place of healing where people who need assistance sort of gather to be under the protection and healing of the elders. I love saying the lot of you for no reason whatsoever in normal conversation. It does sort of pack a punch, doesn't it? Maybe he says something about those people before saying the protag is the worst of them. Okay. Well, maybe we can actually have sort of the word cult used here. Or cultists or something. But then that doesn't quite work with, you call this a sanctuary, a place of healing later. Sorry, I was really hoping we wouldn't get so badly stuck on one place again. I suppose we could always just throw out a few random names, you know. I thought so-and-so and so-and-so were bad, but you're the worst of the lot. Or something. Anyone want to give me some two random names that sort of work with the name Ben? I suppose they don't really have to work with Ben, it just... Oh dear. I thought whoever pathetic, but you. Elias and Martha, beautiful. I thought Elias and Martha were pathetic, but you. I'm not sure about joining straight to a shatter at my feet. I suppose I did it like that to make it feel more disconnected. I suppose it does. Let's just read it through and see how it sounds. Ben's molten glare tightens around my throat, stealing my speech, the very idea of language spooling away in meaning as I predictably freeze. I thought Elias and Martha were pathetic, but you... Ooh. Elias and Martha just getting hit with that. So I'm catching strays. Catching strays. Yes, it does seem sort of like the elders are collecting strays. It's a good thing to try to work in there. That's good. That's good. Thank you. Dear. Started existing, instantly got hit with that left try combo. Sorry, Elias. Sorry, Martha. Pulled into existence just to... Yeah. Catching strays. Where are we? Yeah, I think we need to... There might be somewhere good down here. What is ProWritingAid? Hate the word Elias. Lives lines, yellow, lies, lips, no. Add to dictionary. Elias is now a word. Hooray. Good work, everyone. And how it does in non-Western names. Terribly, I'm sure. Well, it doesn't like any of the fantasy names that I plug in there. Oh, hello, Jesus Christ. Good to see you. How have you been these days? Welcome to the stream. We're writing a story, and I am a little stuck. Amen indeed. I thought Elias and Martha were pathetic, but you... It's... just keep getting frustrated here. I'm just wondering if there needs to be something... I suppose the but you, if he says it poisonously enough, that's enough to cause the shatter at the feet, but it just feels maybe a little too disconnected. Sorry, I'm probably going over this way too much. Maybe because this is so direct now. Maybe something like, no, I do not wish to do that. Thank you. The venom doesn't sound good enough, but that's okay. I stumble back. Venom laces his not taunt, not scowl. We've got him spitting later. Disdain. Is that how you spell disdain, or is it? No, it's not how you spell it. It's with a D. Disdain. Disdain, not disdain. Venom laces his disdain. How does that work? Is that alright? Ben's molten glare tightens around my throat, stealing my speech, the very idea of language spooling away in meaning as I, predictably, freeze. I thought Elias and Martha were pathetic, but you... Venom laces his disdain. I stumble back as something shatters by my feet. Maybe not stumble, I forgot the shattering. Let's go with something a bit more lurch. Venom laces his disdain. I lurch back as something shatters by my feet. Not sure about the dimly and all that now. Let's be obvious here. Dear, how are we going? Venom laces his disdain. I lurch backwards as something shatters by my feet. My lantern escaped my sweaty grip, its oily flame snuffing out on impact with the gazebo step. Still doesn't sound brilliant, does it? Not that I expect much of my stuff to sound brilliant, but still... Well, let's leave it for now and see what ProWritingAid thinks of me. My boots perform a nervous shuffle. Maybe shuffle over glass. It crunches beneath. Beneath should do. We've mentioned the boots. My boots perform a nervous shuffle over glass. Crunches. My boots perform a nervous... I prefer how it sounded before. Just not sure. Just wondering whether this is the wrong place for this. Maybe down here. Maybe down here we could try something like adore who they say boots shuffle glass crunches beneath. Sorry, I am getting frustrated with myself. Works here with just the squinting, because you know we can barely see him now with just the one light. But I do really like how this sounds. I don't want to cut it. Venom laces his disdain. I lurch backwards as something shatters by my feet. My lantern. Maybe just give it a bit more of the drifty quality that we get with this guy. It seems. My lantern, it seems, escaped my sweaty grip, its oily flames snuffing out on impact with the gazebo steps. Yeah, this really doesn't sound quite like it's quite the right place, does it? Well, I'm just going to copy that and cut it. Just not sure there's a good place for it. Let's just pop it down here while we think about it. I mean, I think we're past nervous here, aren't we? I think we're past nervous. I just really like the nervous shuffle. I think we're just going to have to cut the line, but the glass crunching beneath it. Don't get hung up on the line. Do not get hung up on the line. Do not get hung up on the line. Venom laces his disdain. I lurch backwards as something shatters by my feet. My lantern, it seems, escaped to my sweaty grip. Maybe it's... Its oily flame snuffed out on impact with a gazebo step. Now the only light in the garden. Besides the quiet glitter. Hesitantly performs the Cupid shuffle. Oh dear, its oily flames snuffed out on the impact with the gazebo step. The only light remaining in the garden, besides the quiet glitter of stars through tree limbs, is Ben's headlamp. I want that as one sentence, but it doesn't like it. Sorry. Thinky thoughts. Thinking the thinky thoughts. Hey Blue. Hi Sune. How are you doing? We're just... I am just a little stuck on this paragraph. And a little hung up on this line, which I like very much, but I cannot find a good place to make it work. Maybe down a little lower. Much better today, thanks. Glad to hear it. I am glad. Let's just keep going. My blinking eyes prickle with bewildered spots. You're the worst of the lot. Then pants. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's change things up here. How much longer is this stream going to be on? 5 seconds. A bit longer because still working through ourselves. We haven't turned to ProWritingAid's wisdom just yet, and so we've got to finish working through this first, then listen to ProWritingAid, and then I shall do a dramatic reading at the end. So the worst of the lots has been panting. How's that? For some reason, well, not for some reason, I am refusing to give up on that line. I like it. Okay, then I'll check back before you're done. Righty-o. Yes, we'll be here for a little while longer. Need to get some stuff done. Very good. Gotta do the stuff when you can do the stuff, because if you do not do the stuff when you can do the stuff never gets done. Blue knows this from intense personal experience. Oh I hope getting stuff done doesn't cause you any pain. And there is only liberation once the stuff is done. Sorry, bit tired. Okay. You're the worst of the lot, says Ben, panting. Is it weird to call Ben a young man when we are probably also a young person? Maybe something more like the traitor. Sorry, bit dramatic. Liberation. Sorry, I had to get that out. Wonderful. Please, chat is a good place to get these urges out. If you must say a word, as long as the word won't hurt anyone. Liberation, indeed a good word. That's the alien bad guys in my story, actually. My main magical project. They are the Liberation Force. Because they will liberate your soul from your body and take it as their own. Oh dear. You're the worst of the lot, says Ben, panting. It doesn't like the become. Maybe the traitor melted into nothing but a glare and a shadow. It's still not going to like it, is it? I do not think it is a comma splice. The traitor melted into nothing but a glare and a shadow. Oh dear. I really did speak too soon, didn't I, when I said I was reasonably happy with most of this. Just wondering whether to have this as just on its own. You jinxed yourself. Indeed I did. Indeed I did. But it is a learning experience. Hopefully I will not make the same mistake again. I would be talking, but my head is quite literally empty at the moment. Normally I would enjoy the sensation, but at the moment I need something useful to rattle around in there for a while. This beam points straight at me, my blinking eyes prickle with bewildered spots. You're the worst of the lot. Just throw an aren't you in there, just for a bit more disdain. Let's see, you're the worst of the lot, aren't you? Is melt the right word here? I mean, I like how melt sounds here, but it's because the one light in the whole garden's pointed directly into our eyes, so... Eyes prickle with bewildered spots. Maybe if we move... I'm not sure moving And I was considering putting all the dialogue together here. Then I just worry this paragraph will be a bit too long. Let's just see how it looks. Blinking eyes prickle with bewildered spots, blotting the traitor into a smear of shadow. Glare up there then. Read this again. Venom laces his disdain. I just wonder whether this needs a little bit more. I mean, I like sort of how direct it is, but do that up there. We can cut out the sneer down here and just have it as spitting. I think that works. Okay. Well, let's just read from here and see how this works. Ben's molten glare tightens around my throat, stealing my speech, the very idea of language spooling away in meaning as I, predictably, freeze. I thought Elias and Martha were pathetic, but you? Ben sneers, venom lacing his disdain. Well, actually, Ben sneers. His disdain laced by venom. I think that sounds a little better. I lurch backwards as something shatters by my feet. My lantern, it seems, escaped my sweaty grip. His eyes. Do we want sweaty? Do we want a sweaty grip? Or is it just sort of implied by the situation? Let's keep it as implied for now. I lurch backwards as something shatters by my feet. Do we want alarmed there? Ben sneers, his disdain laced by venom. I lurch back. That's the same sort of... Ben sneers, his disdain laced... You want with, don't you? His disdain laced with venom. I lurch backwards as something shatters by my feet. Ben sneers, I lurch. It's... Sorry. I know I spent a while reworking this already, but it's still not happy in my head. My head must be happy. Ben sneers, his disdain laced with venom. By venom sounds better, doesn't it? Laced by venom. I know you're unhappy with the ProWritingAid. I will convince you later. Ben sneers, his disdain laced by venom. I lurch backwards, not only at his expression. Something shattered by my... something... Too many M-dashes. And I did say that, even though I love M-dashes. That was too many. I thought Elias and Martha were pathetic, but you? Ben sneers, his disdain laced by venom. I lurch backwards, not only at his expression, but as something shatters by my feet. My lantern, it seems, escaped my grip. My lantern, it seems, escaped my grip. My lantern, it seems, has escaped my grip. Maybe. Its oily flames snuffed out on impact with the gazebo. Its oily flames snuffed out on impact with the gazebo step. Maybe you can throw a... Now the only light remaining, besides the quiet glitter of stars through tree limbs, is Ben's headlamp. Its beam glares. Directly sounds a bit more oomphy. My blinking eyes prickle with bewildered spots, blotting the traitor into a smear of shadow. Far beyond unnerved, my boots perform a nervous shuffle. This doesn't sound like my boots. My boots are unnerved. Just nervous may not be the right word. Because I think we are. Yes, we are. Like, I think I'm trying to indicate here that, you know, we're unnerved by, you know, the traitor being now just a smear of shadow that we can't see properly. Chat when blue book. Nah, just chatting stream. Chat when blue is writing. Ooh, neat. Yes. Well. Yes. Please, though, if you do have any thoughts on the story, feel free to share. Feel free to share. I'm hopeful once we get past this part, it won't be so difficult. Thoughts you expect me to think? That's way too much effort. I am so sorry. I will never expect anything of you ever again. I promise. Never again. It will not happen. My blinking eyes prickle with bewildered spots, blotting the traitor into a smear of shadow. How are these adjustments we've made now? I'm not sure about the boots again. Oh, I just snapped back to reality. I think I was listening to just the shape and rhythm of your words for like a good bit. We love ASMR. Whatever you get out of it, so long as it is a pleasant experience for you. Tofu knows what I'm on about, thoughtless. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no, I've never given much thought to ASMR before. Don't think I've even really watched much of it before. glass crunching beneath. I was wondering about shifting the nervous boot shuffle up earlier, but it's not. I honestly would love to give more of my 2 cents on your writing, but anxiety is making me not do that. I don't want you to do anything that would make you feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry if I'm being too pushy. Please, be as blue as with the writing software, and if what I'm saying does not work for you, ignore me completely. Oh dear. What if I fail at being chat class? I don't think that's possible. I don't think it's possible, but please, I don't want you doing anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. That is not what we are about. Maybe another time, if you decide you feel confident or happy enough to do that. But yes, it is. You're under no obligation to offer me any assistance whatsoever. You can just sit back, relax, and giggle as Blue flails with words. And gets, unnecessarily hung up over boots, nervously shuffling over glass. Oh dear. I still want to sort of have Ben panting, so maybe just keep it down here. No, this is great. I just have irrational anxiety. Let's go. Don't worry about it. It's even if you think it's irrational, it's still valid. It's still valid. No one has any right to think any less of anyone because they are anxious about doing things. Blinking eyes prickle with bewildered spots, blotting the traitor into a smear of shadow. Oh dear. That can be enough. That can be enough. I will live with that. Okay, my blinking eyes prickle with bewildered spots, blotting the traitor into a smear of shadow. You're the worst of the lot, Ben says, panting. You adore them, don't you? Adore who? I don't think I want this saved there. Just... No. What are you doing? Squint at him, cogs barely creaking in my stressed head, glass crunches beneath my shifting boots. I think the shifting boots can sort of give the nerves away well enough, and we still have the glass crunching there. We're getting to the aggressively slamming backspace portion of writing, I see. Happens to everyone. It's all good. It's all for the sake of the story. All for the sake of the story. Have I hit save? Now I've hit save. Okay. The elders, of course the elders, sycophant. He spits on the pristine lawn by my feet, at my feet, at my feet, adding his own fluids to the galaxy of dew clinging to the blades. I'm sorry if that's gross, but I kind of like how it sounds. Call this a sanctuary, a place of healing. That's right. I really liked what you said about the elders sort of collecting strays. had changed him to keeping him separate from the others, but I think this still sounds pretty collective, so let's keep it with us as we originally did. No, I think it's enhanced by having every last, because it is. Honestly, going from something disgusting like bodily fluids when he's walking to a place of healing fits. Okay, I'm glad it works. I'm glad it works. We will keep it. I think we need another exclamation point there, because he's getting a bit hectic, frantic, manic here, I think. Okay, let me call this a sanctuary, a place of healing. Ben's laugh is terrible, pure oral poison. They've bound us to them, don't you see? Every last stray they've collected, we're theirs now. You think they'll just let us leave here? I think adding this bit here sort of gives a much better idea of what might actually be going on, and maybe, you know, give the readers a bit of a shift. Maybe Ben's onto something, sort of thing. Stop. I think we still got to keep the ellipses here. We are still not sort of asserting ourselves yet, are we? I gasp as Ben's wild gestures jerk the deadly bundle in his fist. Behind him, the contraption makes an unnerving fizzing sound. Ben, you can still stop this. I'm ending this, he growls. Maybe we don't need a marker there at all. Oh, no. That might work better. Well, we've had him sneering, we've had him panting and spitting. I suppose we don't need growling as well. I'm ending this, turning his back. I didn't say his name again. Ben again hunkers before the contraption like a worshipper at an altar. His threat still held overhead. Maybe his dire threat still held overhead. Nah, just threat. No, not all of it, please. Just the one word. Because he's holding the wires in his fist. His fisted threat still held overhead. Does that work? I think it does. Let me know if you have any objections. You stay the hell away from me. Get out of here while you still can. Maybe more like and have another repeat there. Hi Elfie. It's lovely to see you. We are still working through this story. It's a bit longer than the previous two, and I wasn't having as much trouble as I did last time, but then I hit a problem spot. I think I've mostly worked through it, but it did take a while, as I'm sure chat can attest to. How are you doing? I hope you are quite well. Oh dear, let's just get through this and then we'll talk to ProWritingAid. Oh dear. I think I kind of like Ben, you know, despite his disdain for us, the protagonists, he's still, you know, trying to make us get out, trying to protect us still. So Ben is not sort of burn everything. He wants to give us the chance to get out. So I think that says something about his character, which I think is important. You stay the hell away from me. Get out of here. Get out while you still can. Panic froths and bubbles up through my digestive tract. I stand by as good as vacant, my body stiff and lips sealed shut. sake, what have I missed? I'm sorry. We're near the end of going through the story. I will give the whole thing a quick read through once we've worked through the end here, before talking to ProWritingAid and seeing how cranky the software is with me. But it is vaguely, a few steampunky undertones, sort of like an odd cult-like situation, but we're not sure sort of whether the person who seems to be a traitor is actually the bad guy or the good guy. If we want to use terms like bad guy and good guy. But hopefully it won't take too much longer to get through here, and I'll read through all of it so you can see what's going on. Stop, for God's sake. And yes, I'm just using the asterisks for the italics, because for some reason it does not like me doing italics. I grind my teeth so hard my jaw moans. Forget this. If the entire garden's going to burn, it won't be because I can't hold my fucking nerve when it counts. I think that's fine. I think it's good. It works. Gathering resolve around me like an armoured cloak, I step forward. Ben doesn't notice, too hell-bent on sabotage and too convinced I wouldn't dare. Again, I think that says a lot about sort of our reputation here. People walk all over us. We are cringing, we are flinching, we are anxious and shy, and everything that would make people convinced we would never dare speak our mind. Ooh, steampunk cults, exciting. Hopefully. As with many short stories, we don't actually see the outcome of everything going on here. We leave it to our imaginations. Okay, another step. Ben. I don't think we need the ellipsis. No, this is the worst idea I've ever had. Probably needs its own line. Somehow, I don't care. I've never felt more certain. But anything. I've never felt more certain in my life. I think we need something there. Just I've never felt more certain. On its own doesn't sound quite right. So somehow I don't care. I've never felt more certain in my life. And holy hell, confidence is crack. Give me more. I seize Ben's wrist, feeling the hectic tick of his pulse and whir of machinery through his papery skin. I said stop. Okay. Hopefully it's alright now. I'm still, not 100% satisfied with this bit. But we'll do a quick read through before talking to ProWritingAid. But with any luck, I won't be too unhappy with it as we go. Okay, I'm so happy I didn't miss this stream. I'm glad. I'm really glad. I'm glad you were looking forward to it. And I'm sorry I'm a bit of a broken record with such responses. I think it is true. I have sort of things built into my head that I automatically go to that might sound a little proper or stilted, and I don't mean to be. I'm sorry. It's just the way I am, I guess. But yes, so happy that you are happy to be here. Okay, so this short story, for those who didn't hear at the beginning, was written with this prompt to use these 5 words in the story: shatter, burn, adore, sanctuary, and wires. So those are our prompt words. I went skiing early and thought I would miss it. You went skiing. I hope you had fun. Blue has been skiing once in her life, and it was possibly the very worst day of her life. Not taking into account serious worst days of your life. Just, yes, I'd never been skiing before, and my Canadian friends convinced me it was easy. And that, no, I didn't need any lessons, just come skiing with us. Ooh, adore is really a driving word, especially in this group of words. I think so, yes. I mean, it's probably, well, adore and sanctuary that probably got to mind the elders idea and stuff, and the Y has definitely led to the steampunky side of things. Sorry, it's summer. It's summer here, but nights still get a bit cold. But my feet are starting to overheat in their slippers, so off come the slippers. Your snowbird friend said skiing is easy. Well, I suppose it was my fault as well for not remembering that they're Canadian. Oh, well, I made it down the mountain. That's what's important. It took me maybe 5 or 6 hours, and I was terrified I was going to miss the bus home, and I was exhausted and hungry, and, you know, Blue was not happy. You skied your toes off. Oh, poor sweet toes. Well, I hope it was at least fun skiing your toes off. Do you go skiing often, so it's not really a high possibility that going skiing would be a worst day of your life? It's for fun. Do you make it down the mountain on your feet or on your back? On my feet. You know, I would, sort of teeter along on the skis for 5 seconds and then fall over and take maybe a minute to 2 to try to get up again and then keep going. And I eventually, just took them off and dragged them down and walked down the mountain. Let's go. Okay, so quick read through and then we'll talk to ProWritingAid. I won't make it too dramatic of a reading. I'll save the dramatic reading for the end. Ben. I stand below the gazebo step and say his name. That's all I say. Never been much for confrontation, I suppose. God damn, it had to be me who stumbled upon Ben's trespass. A dim lamp strapped to his forehead, he crouches over the elder's contraption, all brass and gears and pressure gauges. The frantic clicks and pops of Ben's tinkering through the cool, clear night keep discordant time with our misted breaths, his shallow and agitated, mine quick and afraid. My lips tremble on calling for help. Something pointy and cruel digs into the pit of my stomach, telling me that would be the worst idea I've ever had. And I've had some pretty god-awful ideas. I wound up here, didn't I? No, it's Ben and me. God help us. I say his name again. Ben, please. The extra word barely croaks out of me. Don't move. My entire body jolts as Ben spins to face me. Half tangled in copper coils and silhouetted in my quivering pool of lantern light, he clenches one jittery hand over his head. A bundle of wires snakes from his fist into the unknown innards of the contraption. Horror spills up my spine. Oh no. I froze so much I'm sitting in a restaurant on the same mountain. Oh dear, I hope you're alright. If you're alright, not too cold. Do you have blankets? Blankets, coats, fireplaces, general approved sources of intense warmth at your facility, at your ready, available to you. Yeah, horror spills up my spine. Oh no. What will this achieve? I try. Let's just keep the stammer out of here. We'll keep the stammers on the stops. What will this achieve? I try, my eyes an anxious hummingbird flicker up and down the wires that connect Ben to the elder's contraption. What do you possibly hope to? Ben's molten glare tightens around my throat, stealing my speech, the very idea of language spooling away in meaning as I predictably freeze. I thought Elias and Martha were pathetic, but you? Ben sneers, his disdain laced by venom. I lurch backwards, not only at his expression, but as something shatters by my feet. My lantern, it seems, has escaped my grip. Its oily flame snuffed out on impact with the gazebo step, plunging the garden into darkness. Its oily flame snuff out on impact with the gazebo step, plunging the garden into darkness. Now, the only light remaining, beside the quiet glitter of stars through tree limbs, is Ben's headlamp. Its beam glares directly at me. My blinking eyes prickle with bewildered spots, blotting the traitor into a smear of shadow. You're the worst of the lot, Ben says, panting. You adore them, don't you? Adore who? I squint at him, the cogs barely creaking in my stressed head. Glass crunches beneath my shifting boots. The elders? Of course the elders. Sycophant. He spits on the pristine lawn at my feet, adding his own fluids to the galaxy of dew clinging to the blades. You call this a sanctuary? A place of healing? Ben's laugh is terrible, pure oral poison. They've bound us to them, don't you see? Every last stray they've collected. We're theirs now. You think they'll just let us leave here? Stop. I gasp as Ben's wild gestures jerk the deadly bundle in his fist. Behind him, the contraption makes an unnerving fizzing sound. Ben, you can still stop this. I'm ending this. Maybe it will work better if, every time we say stop, except the last time it's stammered. That might work. Have I hit it every time? I think so. I'll double check it later. Ben, you can still stop this. I'm ending this. Turning his back, Ben again hunkers before the contraption like a worshipper at an altar, his fisted threat still held overhead. You stay the hell away from me. Get out of here. Get out while you still can. Panic froths and bubbles up through my digestive tract. I stand by as good as vacant, my body stiff and lips sealed shut. Stop. For God's sake. I grind my teeth so hard my jaw moans. Forget this. If the entire garden's going to burn, it won't be because I can't hold my fucking nerve when it counts. Gathering resolve around me like an armoured cloak, I step forward. Ben doesn't notice, too hell-bent on sabotage and too convinced I wouldn't dare. Another step. Ben. No, this is the worst idea I've ever had. Somehow I don't care. I've never felt more certain in my life, and holy hell, confidence is crack. Give me more. I think this is also possibly a good line to sort of maybe refer a little bit back to maybe why we've wound up with the elders in the garden in the first place, maybe. Or at least a hint, perhaps, maybe. I seize Ben's wrist, feeling the hectic tick of his pulse and whir of machinery through his papery skin. I said stop. Confidence is crack. That's great. I think it works. I think I may have used it in my main magical project, but that's okay. Let's see what ProWritingAid thinks. Okay, let's get the summary. How much do you abhor me today? Okay, that's not too bad. I'm a little ticked off. I prefer to get style scores of 100. Confidence is crack, and crack gives me confidence. I mean, what? Oh, dear. Oh, we'll look at grammar. Style score 90%. What don't you like about my style this week, ProWritingAid? Okay, so spelling score 100. Well, still 83% of goals isn't too bad. Style score 90. Business jargon 0. I have 0 business jargon, and I am proud to say it. Readability grade 4. That's good. Sentence variety 7.3. Very good. Glue index. We are not very sticky at all. That is wonderful. ProWritingAid is an anti. It'll be fun adapting this to a comic. I'd try if I have your permission. You are welcome to do whatever you like with it. I mean, I'm eventually going to hopefully just release it in an audiobook style thing on YouTube, but other than that, maybe I should pop something up when I do put them as audiobook style things, saying people are free to go for it, just so long as you link back to me. I'm happy for you to go for it. ProWritingAid be telling me I'm wrong and me ignoring it. It's a mood. It's indeed a mood. One that I think I'm going to be emulating very soon. So I like it when we're well below the target for glue index. I think it's at 40 usually, and with my novels I'm normally floating between 40 and 41. I'm like, just a little bit less sticky please, and I can never quite fix it. Passive voice 0. 0. Yay. Sorry. I like to use as little passive as possible, because I suppose my stuff's usually so long as I keep it very active. Hopefully it doesn't drag. Oh, hi. I was thinking of recording a dramatic reading as a personal exercise for recording and audio editing. Ooh, that sounds cool. Very good. Engagement score 100%. Yay. We're engaging. And we use inclusive language. Yay. No complex paragraphs. Good. Conjunction starts within reason. Slow pacing. Below 30%, that's fine. Long sentences, no quote consistency, fine. Acronym consistency, fine. No long repeated phrases. No emotion tells. Okay. We're just okay for the dialogue tags. And we haven't done any with adverbs, so that's fine. Yes, we do have a few weak adverbs, but we're below there. Yes, I knew it would be unhappy for me to having some unusual dialogue tags there. Too many sentences beginning with ing words. We can look at that. And you think what my sentences are too short. Okay, we can have a look at all of that. We can have a look. We are engaging. Susan. Goodness me, that is a surname I cannot pronounce. Wojcicki? Something like that? I do not know a Susan Wojcicki. Is that someone I should know? Yes, I am unaware of this individual. The CEO of YouTube. Oh! Oh yes. Susan Wojcicki, whose surname I am certainly pronouncing correctly. Yes. I am a YouTuber. Of course I know who the CEO is. Of course I know. No. Is a good joke. Is a good joke. Be left in no doubt. Dear. Okay, well. Smile and wave, please smile and wave. Yeah. Pretty much. Let's just dive right into the grammar. Right into the grammar like nothing is wrong. Gazebo is an issue, it seems. It really wants me to do the gazebos step. Maybe just I stand below the gazebo. That ignore. I suppose I can. Ignore it. Ignoring. Ben sneers his disdain laced by venom. Ben sneers his disdain laced with venom. I suppose with doesn't sound too bad. And if it will make you happy, I will make this sacrifice. Oh, makes sense. Replying to, of course you know the CEO. Yes, indeed. Of course I do. How could I not? How could anyone not? It is a thing that we who use YouTube know. Oh, I just realized I don't understand what standing below a gazebo step means, like in front of the step. Yes. Like there is one step leading up into the gazebo structure and we are standing just in front of it. So yes, maybe below doesn't really work. I suppose we're just going with below because it was the step. I stand at the gazebo step and say his name. That doesn't sound quite right. I foot of the gazebo. Let's see. I stand at the foot of the gazebo and say his name. I stand at the foot of the gazebo and say his name. I stand at the foot of the gazebo and say his name. A bit off topic, but this wooden bench says I'll let your imagination fill in the blank. Oh dear. Does that mean not a comfortable bench at all? Or am I getting the wrong impression? Oh dear. I'm sorry if it is not comfortable. I think my desk chair is perfectly acceptable, but it does not really do much. Not really do much for Blue's abysmal posture. I am full on hunched over the desk. Oh, dearie me. Something's not quite working. I don't want to get hung up on it. Sorry, just staring at the sentence, trying to make it work in my head. I think I liked below as well, and having the step just to sort of raise Ben up in sort of the power dynamic, I guess. No, I just said jar instead of hard. Oh, okay. Sorry. Is as hard as, so yes. Hard bench. Hard bench. Not comfy. Oh dear. Oh, yep, yep. Might try as I stand below the gazebo and say his name. I mean, I don't really want to put a description sort of the gazebo itself here, because I don't think there's any need. But I think I did want to sort of have that, you know, we are standing below Ben and he sort of has the power in this situation. I think that's might have been what I was trying to get at, and why standing at the foot of the gazebo wasn't quite working in my head. Yeah, I'm sorry if it's not 100% clear. I may have to, you know, lean towards artistic license over clarity briefly here, which I do not generally like to do, but, you know, if I had unlimited time, I would probably get it a bit better. If I come up with something incredible to fix this issue before I try to make the audiobook style video for it, I might make the adjustment. But for now, I might keep it as this. Let's see what else we can do. How can we improve our style? Okay, this is all fine. One readability enhancement. Yeah, you don't like every last, do you? But I think someone in Ben's situation would see the every last thing there. So we will ignore that. It's fine. Okay, 4 adverbs found outside dialogue. Use adverbs sparingly in your writing, especially in creative writing. Okay, we've used barely twice. So maybe we can cut that one. croaks out of me. Mind you, I'm sleep deprived, so it might just be my personal reading comprehension issue. No. If something doesn't sort of work in your head when you're sleepy, then, you know, probably wouldn't work when you're awake either. I think maybe that's the sort of benchmark we need to use. Could sleepy people read this and be okay? Oh dear. But yes, I may look at it again later. But we need to get through this, don't we? One adverb found in dialogue. I think it's fine. We can have one adverb in dialogue, can't we? People use adverbs when they speak. So we checked grammar, free phrase. You are happy with the unusual dialogue tags. Well, I wasn't using spits as a dialogue tag here. I mean, technically it is, but he is actually literally spitting as well, so I don't think that one should count. We're not using add as a... This doesn't make sense. I can ignore this. In school, I've done a lot of reading comprehension stuff. I'm getting tired of it, but I know I need it because I almost failed the national test. Oh dear. Oh dear. You're doing okay? Tests are hard. Oh, I couldn't imagine doing tests again. Just thinking about it makes me feel ill. This is why I've never gone back to school. I did my time. Seems Blue is unwilling to do it again. None of these are actually being used as dialogue tags. They're being used near dialogue, where this gasp is, you know, we're gasping at the wild gesture. That doesn't necessarily mean this word we're gasping. So even though it's going to lower our score, I'm just going to ignore all of these. I can't actually hit ignore, so it's still going to say it's a problem. But let's just have a look at the summary. I might just have to put up with it. Oh! Grammar score 100, now that we're ignoring those ones. Spelling score 100, style score 100. Okay, I feel a little bit better about that, but we've still got, you know, only 88% of the goals achieved. Why are they unhappy? Ah, yes, the sentence length and the ing starts. Okay, let's just have a look for the INGs. So we have turning and gathering. Is that it? Well, easy enough to get rid of one of them. And just turn this into I gather, resolve around me like an armored cloak and step forward. And that's probably fine like that. There. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to hit. How do I get rid of the search bar? I don't wish to search anymore. Be gone, please. There we go. Be gone. Oh dear. So, what was the other one? Sentence length. It thinks I've got too many short sentences. This is a fairly active sort of scene, isn't it? So... we've still got some reasonably long sentences. Pop that up there. No, it doesn't do anything about the sentence lengths. Sorry, just seeing if there's maybe some I can combine to appease the grammar software. Sorry, I need to leave, but the stream is still going. When I'm home, I'll drop in again. Highly unlikely. Yeah, we'll be finishing up soon. I'm sorry. But thank you so much for popping by. It's always lovely to see you. I hope you warm up and you find a more comfortable chair. But a lot of these short sentences, they just have so much more effect as short sentences. I don't think it's really an issue, is it? It should be fine. Let's just double check the summary again. Okay, so we've moved up to 92% of goals achieved. That's... yeah, I think I'm just going to, as cheerfully as possible, ignore the sentence length and unusual dialogue tags issues the ProWritingAid has with my work. It's, yeah, I think the short sentences work well in this story. And I think we've got more than enough longer ones to sort of balance things out. And I don't think any of those words you were claiming are unusual dialogue tags are actually being used as dialogue tags. So that one I'm very happy to ignore. Alrighty. Does anyone have any thoughts for titles for this thing? Because I have not thought about that at all. Oh, dearie me. Oh, my toes are warm and the car seats are comfortable. Bye. Hooray. I shall see you later. Bye-bye. But yes, if anyone has any thoughts for titles, either let me know in the chat or you can toss them in the comments at another point for consideration, because anything anyone else has got is better than the absolute nothing that I've got. That's why I went with the gazebo as a sort of point of focus. I don't know what else to call it. Oh, Wacky Tacky Cool Adventures of Benny Ben. Okay, maybe not everything is better than the nothing I've got in my head. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for your suggestion. It is an amazing title. I 100% agree. It is an amazing title. I'm just not sure it's the correct amazing title for this particular piece of work. It is too good for this work. It is beyond this work. We need to find the appropriate story that truly deserves that title. Alrighty, so I think there's still a few small bits and pieces that I'm unsure of. Look, my first thought was the sanctuary. Don't look at me. Okay, I won't look at you. The sanctuary could work. Also because it is, one of these words, it would be appropriate. But yes, that is one I will keep in mind too. So we have either the sanctuary or Wacky Tacky Cool Adventures of Benny Ben. Oh, dearie me. So it is getting quite late for me. It's approaching 1 a.m. Been at this for about 3 hours, so I should we shall give it the best dramatic reading I can, and then we will sing our farewells for the evening. Okay, dramatic reading time. Let's do it. So, short piece with working titles: Wacky Tacky Cool Adventures of Benny Ben, or The Sanctuary, or aka The Sanctuary. Here we go, dramatic reading time. Yay, pronunciation reference. Dramatic reading time. Ben. I stand below the gazebo and say his name. His name is all I say. Never been much for confrontation, I suppose. God damn, it had to be me who stumbled upon Ben's trespass. A dim lamp strapped to his forehead, he crouches over the elder's contraption, all brass and gears and pressure gauges. The frantic clicks and pops of Ben's tinkering through the cool, clear night keep discordant time with our misted breaths. His shallow and agitated, mine quick and afraid. My lips tremble on calling for help. Something pointy and cruel digs into the pit of my stomach, telling me that would be the worst idea I've ever had. And I've had some pretty god-awful ideas. I wound up here, didn't I? No, it's Ben and me. God help us. I say his name again. Ben. Please. One extra word croaks out of me. Don't move. My entire body jolts as Ben spins to face me. Half tangled in copper coils and silhouetted in my quivering pool of lantern light, he clenches one jittery hand over his head. A bundle of wires snakes from his fist into the unknown innards of the contraption. Horror spills up my spine. Oh, no. What will this achieve? I try, my eyes in anxious hummingbird flicker up and down the wires that connect Ben to the elder's contraption. What do you possibly hope to? Ben's molten glare tightens around my throat, stealing my speech, the very idea of language spooling away in meaning as I, predictably, freeze. I thought Elias and Martha were pathetic, but you? Ben sneers, his disdain laced with venom. I lurch backwards, not only at his expression, but as something shatters by my feet. My lantern, it seems, has escaped my grip. Its oily flames snuff out on impact with the gazebo step, plunging the garden into darkness. Now the only light remaining, besides the quiet glitter of stars through tree limbs, is Ben's headlamp. Its beam glares directly at me. My blinking eyes prickle with bewildered spots, blotting the traitor into a smear of shadow. You're the worst of the lot, Ben says, panting. You adore them, don't you? Adore who? I squint at him, the cogs barely creaking in my stressed head. Glass crunches beneath my shifting boots. The elders? Of course the elders! Sycophant! He spits on the pristine lawn at my feet, adding his own fluids to the galaxy of dew clinging to the blades. You call this a sanctuary? A place of healing? Ben's laugh is terrible, pure oral poison. They've bound us to them, don't you see? Every last stray they've collected. We're theirs now. You think they'll just let us leave here? Stop. I gasp as Ben's wild gestures jerk the deadly bundle in his fist. Behind him, the contraption makes an unnerving fizzing sound. Ben, you can still stop this. I'm ending this. Turning his back, Ben again hunkers before the contraption like a worshipper at an altar, his fisted threat still held overhead. You stay the hell away from me. Get out of here. Get out while you still can. Panic froths and bubbles up through my digestive tract. I stand by, as good as vacant, my body stiff and lips sealed shut. Stop. For God's sake. I grind my teeth so hard my jaw moans. Forget this. If the entire garden's going to burn, it won't be because I can't hold my fucking nerve when it counts. I gather resolve around me like an armoured cloak and step forward. Ben doesn't notice. Too hell-bent on sabotage and too convinced I wouldn't dare. Another step. Ben. No, this is the worst idea I've ever had. Somehow, I don't care. I've never felt more certain in my life, and holy hell, confidence is crack. Give me more. I seize Ben's wrist, feeling the hectic tick of his pulse and whir of machinery through his papery skin. I said, stop. There we go. Elias and Martha, I'm sorry for handing you over to Blue just for her to instantly bully you. Oh well. At least they are in the story. At least they get names mentioned. The protagonist doesn't even get a name drop. Brava. Thank you. Yay. Thank you so much. Yay. Woo. Yay. Quiet claps. What do they call them? Fairy claps. Fairy claps. Oh, goodness me. Thank you for enduring with Blue. And I'm sorry if I was frustrating at any point trying to delve through this thing. I should have expected we'd run into trouble somewhere. I think I'm all right with those paragraphs at the moment. The protagonist can just be called Mr. Crackhead. That'll do. That'll do, since he's so very confident. Confidence is cute, and confidence is crack. Oh dear. So, yes, that's the short story that was born of these 5 words. Shatter, burn, adore, sanctuary, wires. There's another one that I started working on from a similar prompt last year that I took notes on, but I didn't actually write it. So if I can try to pull that one together over the next 2 weeks, maybe we can try that week after next or something. Maybe next week we can do a fun brainstorming session where we just try to think of as many things relating to a prompt as possible. Oh, you pulled the hard work here. We're just observing, watching. No, you were very, very helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is, it's very helpful to me for others to see my work. It is, I have not shared my stuff with many people, probably mostly because my stuff is generally so long I don't feel I have the right to share it with many people because it's just asking too much of people. I think time is a precious commodity and Blue cannot take up so much of it. But then how am I supposed to sort of get something in a condition that it won't waste anyone's time if I don't waste someone's time initially to make sure it is not in a state that will waste people's time? Oh dear, do I have your explicit permission to do a recording of this? I have ideas. You may, yes, you may, but it might be easier if you wait until I do the audiobook reading that I was going to do, just so you've got all of it there. But I suppose if you really wanted to, you can go through the VOD and get it all from there. But it might be a little easier on you if you waited for the audiobook recording first, because once I put the audiobook one up, I'll put the written form up somewhere too. I haven't 100% decided where yet. I'll drop it on Tumblr, but I'm still wondering about making a sort of a compilation short story thing on Wattpad or something, just as a place to compile everything. The Sanctuary, Confidence, Traitor, The Traitor, Mr. Crackhead, Super Wacky Crazy Fun Adventures, Adventures with Drugs. Just some title ideas. Thank you for your contributions. Yeah, I don't want to be influenced by your creative decisions, but I make my own interpretation, if that makes sense. It does indeed make sense. Please go for it. Go for it. You have the blessings to have some fun. Oh dear, I will probably be a while getting it done still anyway. It's difficult to find time to do things, honestly. On the nights I stream, as I've said, it's sort of replacing oozing on the couch. And on the nights I'm not streaming, exhaustion abounds. I'm not getting any writing done. Or other things that I need to get done, like these videos and whatnot. Thanks. Also, congrats on breaking 70 subs. I broke 70 subs. That's cool. Yay. I hadn't seen that yet. Oh dear. I can think. It's a thing I can do. Yes. What are some of the things I need to do? I need to do those videos. I need to work on a little world building project that I'm doing a collaboration with someone on. I need to do school-related things for the small one. I need to just do writing. For goodness sake, there's some medical stuff I've got to see too. In general, trying to keep the house in order. What else was there? Oh, I did get one thing done today. I got one thing done. There's oh, yes, but can Blue sleep? Not very well. Yeet the small one like an American football. I'm not yeeting the small one, although she'd probably enjoy it. She does like the climbing and the tumbling. Keeps saying she wants to learn to fight, so we may have to look into that. No, I'm not so good at the lifting and tossing though. Oh dear. I did get one task that's been languishing all month done today, finally, which is good. Teach the small one karate. I think I would need to get a professional instructor. I do not remember enough from my martial arts stuff to be a sufficient teacher. I think there might be some judo in town, but I don't know if there's an age limit or something. Oh dear, I've just introduced her to Avatar: The Last Airbender, and she is very, very hooked. Yes. I think my cautious optimism for the live-action adaptation is sort of bounding into all-out anticipation. Yes, hopefully Blue and everyone else will not be disappointed, but we will see. We will see. Okay, yes. Stuff must be done. It will get done gradually. And yes, please use things. Use Blue's short story writing for projects if you would like. Just please maybe link back to me. That would be lovely. That would be lovely. Teach your kids how to do throws and you're going to be yeeted during tantrums. I don't think I've never not been disappointed by a live action remake. The One Piece one's supposed to be really good, isn't it? I've only seen a little bit of it. And the Lord of the Rings movies, I think they are reasonably spectacular. The Hobbit ones I didn't enjoy quite so much, but the Lord of the Rings ones were just amazing. Other live action adaptations, what was there? I know there's a lot of controversy about it. I kind of enjoyed the live action Cowboy Bebop that was there. I think I was able to enjoy it for what it was. I don't like One Piece in general, so I have no opinion on the live action. I haven't seen any of One Piece, but I'm aware of a fair amount of it because, you know, it's been going on forever, so it was big among the kids when I was in Japan. And so it was incorporated into school lessons a fair bit. So I have a connection to One Piece, even though I'm not hugely familiar with it. Oh dear, I'm just trying to think of some other ones of late. Drawing a blank. In any case, I should probably try to finish it up. But yes, please feel free to use short stories for your projects, so long as there are links back to me. I am fine for you to go for it. But I will be popping them up somewhere eventually, once I get around to making the videos for them. My only knowledge of One Piece is the songs that Ado have done. Okay, I don't really know any of the music from it at all, except I think Mori Calliope did a song for the 106th manga volume. I liked it. I thought it was a good song. Oh dear. Just know a few covers Will Stetson did. Okay. This Will is not a figure I am familiar with, but I imagine they are a person deserving of much admiration. Ado is the voice behind Uta in One Piece Red. Okay. Oh dear. Will Stetson is the best English cover artist. Go listen right now. I'll look after I've slept, maybe. Oh dear. Okay, I gotta wrap up. I gotta go sleep. I gotta sleep. Okay, so, thank you so much again for being here and helping me. And we got something done. And I'm glad it has cast some inspiration over you, and you'd like to try doing some things with it bedtime. Indeed. Okay. So, I can think. I'm just getting the lyrics because I'm tired. I forgot the name of the song for a second. Okay, let us sing our farewells. And wherever you are in the world, good night to you, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. And I hope the rest of your day is absolutely lovely, because that is the sort of day that you deserve. Okay, time to sing. Of all the money that here I had, I have spent it in good company. Oh, and all the harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all. Oh dear. Until next time. Bye bye.